is going on YouTube? My name is Travis and I want to thank you for tuning in to another TDH upload. Today's video we're going to be stepping away from the resto work that we have been doing on this Carolina skiff, and if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to jump back, check out the Carolina skiff playlist. You can see the transformation from the day that I got the boat all the way up until now. If you have been following along, you know part 4 was just released. Parts 1 through 4 are up. You guys can see the whole resto work on this front deck and the center console. Now, since we're going with the center console, we're getting ready to go to a remote setup. I have been using this Tiller 25 horsepower Mariner. It has been an awesome unit, but I just kind of want a little more horsepower and a little bit more luxury. I want to be able to just control it with a steering wheel and have, you know, remote throttles and all that good jazz. The Tiller is fun, and I probably will keep her, and it may be for another boat. Maybe I'll buy something like a smaller little skiff or something to enjoy it on. But today's video is not about any of that nonsense. It's about these awesome Yamahas that I have here behind me. You can see or tell by the title of this video, I got just awesome Facebook Marketplace deals. I can't get over what I paid for both of these setups. This one primarily because it came with the OEM controls, the OEM throttle, the wiring harness, the key, the whole 9 yards. But unfortunately, they do have their own little issues. This one being kind of the one that I want to keep, but it's the 50/50, might be a big headache. This one is electronic fuel injected. It's a 2005 model, and she's all there, but unfortunately she had some water mixing with her oil, and she has lost compression on cylinder 4. And if you guys can't see here behind me, I've got a leak down tester hooked up to her right now, so obviously that's not good news if you guys see one of those. Now, the other motor that I have is a 2002 F50. Now, that is basically the carbureted version of this motor here. This one has good compression, and I did hear it run via video. I got to hear it crank over and sputter for a second and then shut off. I think it's a fuel pump related issue, but the compression numbers are decent in that. I think number 1 is the weakest at 150 or 155 PSI. You guys will see all of that content and all this footage. So let's just dive right into this video. And just a heads up, there's going to be a lot of talking, and yeah, there will be talking. So sorry. Enjoy the video, guys. I did want to interrupt real quick. I forgot to mention these are the OEM Yamaha controls that I got with that T50. This has the trim button on it, and this is a flush mount style control unit. I've got the shifter cables with it. It came with all of the wiring harness, came with the key panel here with the safety lanyard and the switch, and then the wiring harness itself. So I forgot to include that, but I did get that with the purchase of the T50, and that's why it makes it such an amazing deal, because this stuff new is $300+. So anyways, to the video we go. Alrighty, we'll dive into the video starting with the 2005 T50. This is the outboard that I plan on running on the Carolina skiff. This motor, aesthetically looking at it, is just immaculate. There's a few scuffs and scratches. Unfortunately, that was from me unloading the truck. Unloading it from the truck. You guys will see me slip that thing out. I scratched it up a bit on the midsection, but as far as that goes, the midsection and the lower unit, I mean, it is clean. Still got the original OEM Yamaha prop on there. Trim and tilt, all functions. The freshwater line is all here. Everything's intact. The only real downfall to the aesthetics to the actual outboard is the cowling. The sun got to it. You can see it lost its sticker here. The 4-stroke sticker or decal is starting to fade. You can see all of the blemishes on the actual cowling. As far as the engine goes, though, you look at it, the intake runner into the throttle body, down to the VST there, the head, fuel pump, igniter. I mean, look at it. This block, this power head is so clean that you could probably eat a meal off this thing. The guy that I picked it up from was an older gentleman who had retired. He pulled this motor off his Key West, which came factory from it. He says that it has no more than 200 hours, but they pulled it off because obviously there was water inside of the oil, and you guys will see that in just a second. Now, I didn't talk about this in the video, but before we ran the motor, my friend that you'll see in the video, Tristan, he came by with some Yamaha Yamalube. That's the oil change kit there. He was able to hook me up with that, and we drained the oil out of it, and you guys, again, will see that. We put fresh oil in it, did the compression test, and then ran it, and then came back and drained the oil once more. So currently, as it looks, or excuse me, as it sits, there's not any oil in it right now. I need to go ahead and just fill it up with some break-in oil. That way I can let it sit and then drain that out and hope that the rings and the whole bottom end, you know, my mains and my bearings don't get rusty. But as of that goes, we will throw the footage of her and all that nonsense, and then I'll bring you up to the current date, and we will do the leak down test, and I'll show you guys, and you can hear the air escaping through the water jacket, and you can hear the air escaping from the pee hole and from the freshwater line. So there's more than likely a corrosion issue next to the oil sump. That's what I'm going with. You'll hear us say head gasket, you'll hear us say stuck ring. I'm thinking that there's a corrosion problem inside of the motor. But anyways, guys, you will see that footage, and I'll check back in with you after that. Oh, ho, 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 ho. It is milky. Woo. Talk about some chocolate milk. All right, guys, we're gonna run this compression test. This is cylinder number 1. You ready, buddy?
Yep.
Here we go.
It's still going.
Still going?
Mm-hmm. 170.
170, holy mackerel. 170, folks. All right, we're gonna move on to cylinder 2. Okay, guys, here goes cylinder 2. Threading in the tester. And it smells like raw gas, dude. We got another one at 170, folks. Zoom in for you. There we go. All right, you can clear, bro. Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
You ready?
Yep. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. All right. 170.
That's the battery's getting a little tired. 170. All right, let me zoom in on that for you guys so you can see that. All right. Sorry, guys, I accidentally hit the record button, but you can see number 3, 170. Appreciate you, sir. All right, battery, you got one more.
Yeah.
You got one more battery. Whoop.
Go ahead, spill
Hang
that
in
everywhere
there.
too.
I know, dude, I'll try. Okay.
Last one.
Last one. All right, battery, you got it, girl. Ready?
Come on. That's it. Head gasket. Head gasket, or you got a stuck ring.
I mean, yeah, that's low compression, but I'm thinking that's probably a head gasket, huh?
Head gasket or stuck ring. You might be able to run some ring free in there and bring that up to above 100. Now you're still not close enough to run it because you got to be within 10 psi. Yeah, so 10 psi. So if you're at 170 on all
should
your,
should we try it wet?
Huh? I say you try to run this thing.
Try to run it.
See what happens.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well run.
There you go.
You have the throttle or no?
Go ahead.
And it sounded like it sounded like it was running on 3, and you revved it a couple times, and it sounded like it popped into maybe all 4. That's what it kind of sounded like, but it didn't pee, because she would have peed on it now.
I don't care about this. It ain't gonna get hot.
You ready?
Go ahead.
sounds like it.
This motor's running too nice. Definitely been sitting for a while. See the black set oil or exhaust up to the air. There it goes. Thermostat is over.
Want me to kill it? Yeah, the muffs keep slipping off. Okay, just for shits and giggles, we're doing another compression test just to see if the numbers changed at all. So we'll do this real quick. Hang in there, battery.
It got charged now.
You ready?
Yep.
Still 90?
Zero.
Zero? Do I have it seated in there all the way?
Try it again.
You ready?
Yep.
I don't hear anything out of it, so I'm assuming it's still zero.
A PSI?
Well, this just got even more interesting. It ran good for a second with decent compression, and then it smoked its compression. Oh my goodness, golly. That is horrible. Let's get the oil. Or we can drain the oil. Doesn't smell gassy. So there is gas right next to us, so it'll fucking help. We're recording. Thank God for Snap-on. That's water in there, all right.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely water. It doesn't smell gassy. Got a little bit of a gas scent to it, but I'm right in front of the fuel pump. Don't let Yamaha see this. I'm gonna patent this. Okay guys, so now we are going to do a leak down test on cylinder number 4. As you guys saw in that footage, she has now 0 compression after showing 90. We're going to see if we can't figure out where that compression is going to. I have a hunch that it is somewhere in the water jacket area. And I'll hook this guy up, throw some air into it. All right, there goes the air. And she's already showing like 90%. And we'll go up to 80. and you can feel it coming out of the water line. Let me set this up. I don't want to drop this expensive tool. Okay, let me unhook you guys. If you listen real close, so I bet you here. Yep. Oh yeah. Nothing coming out of the intake though. Although it kind of sounds like it. I don't feel anything. Could just be the air in here. A little bit coming out of that exhaust there. Nothing coming out down here, but it's definitely coming out of the pee hole. So yeah, guys, we will be taking the head off of this thing without a doubt. Man, taking forever. Hard to do this one-handed, dear. We will be lifting the head off, that's for sure. And if the head comes off and we don't see anything, then it looks like the whole power head's coming off. So that brings you guys up to speed on the 2005 Yamaha T50. I do want to use this engine, but it just depends on how far I want to go down the rabbit hole. Obviously, it gets pricey messing with this outboard stuff. This motor works just fine. I'm sure some of you were thinking, dude, just run the setup that you have. There's no point. Currently, I have all the time in the world to let this thing sit and kick around, but I do plan on probably selling this one. And what I'm going to go ahead and do just to make my life easier, because it'll end up being a 30-minute video, or it might be a little less, but I'm just going to split this up into a two-part series. So we talked about the T50 in the beginning of the video, and part 2 we'll do the F50 here, and I will talk about that because I do want to try to get this thing running, and I have not done that yet. So I might just set the camera up tomorrow afternoon after work and try to see if we can't get this thing to pop off on some gas. It looks like we might be able to just barb a line into the outlet here for the carbs that runs up, and if we can barb into that and maybe just use a hand pump, lightly pump it, we can maybe get enough fuel pressure to the carbs to get this thing to pop off and run, because I'm really thinking that might be the issue. If that's not the issue, it's carburetors are just nasty. It smells of really, really, really old fuel. If you guys could smell it, this thing stinks. I mean, it just smells awful. The oil does look good and it does not smell of gas, but the carburetor themselves and the fuel pump, and obviously you can tell how weathered and old the lines are on this thing. These clear lines, they've started turning yellow and such, so they're pretty old. And also, this was on the T50 when I bought it. The one that's on the T50 now was just swapped over because we ran the T50, but for whatever reason, somebody stripped out that oil cap. But guys, this video is getting lengthy, and I will just make a whole different series. We will try to run this guy, and we will go from there. So I will probably see you guys in that next upload. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a good night. I will see you then. Later.